Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here once again. Let's just get right into it. Coronavirus. Connecticut, COVID-19 numbers. I try to get to these as much as I can because, well, I live here. And I come across people here. But I want to talk about it. Let me just start off by saying a recap. Back in October 13th, and even before that, I've got numbers that go back before that. But October 13th, 78.9% survival rate among senior citizens who got COVID. We are now at 87.7% today. Now, I know you're saying, well, that's because of the vaccine. Is it? Because before the vaccine came out, we were already at 87.1 before they started rolling this out. If you looked at my other videos, you'll see. We've always been on an upward trend. But I made some notes because I'm always trying to remember the numbers as I'm driving. I got to pull aside. So I want to talk, we'll go over the whole numbers real quick. I want to make this video as fast as I can. I know people are always busy and on the run, so I like to make these as quick as I can. So currently, we have 205,994 cases here in Connecticut. Out of those are 6,324 deaths. Now that's 3% of the cases. So 3% of the cases actually lead to death. Again, nobody wants anybody to die, but 97% survival rate, pretty good. Or I should say, yeah, survival rate. 3% lead to death. Now we're talking tests. 4.6 million. Interesting. We have a 3.5 million population. So there's 3.5 million people here in Connecticut. We've already had 4.6 million tests. So people just keep getting tested over and over again and over and over and over and over and over again. That's fine. But come on. 4.4% of those tests lead to cases. That means 95.6% of those tests did not turn into cases. That's a pretty good success rate. Forgive me if I'm talking fast. I'm trying to do this video as quickly as possible because, quite honestly, I'm on my way to work, so I've got to make this as quick as possible. Listen, gotta do all things, you know? So, out of those out of those cases or deaths, 5,904 deaths were senior citizens 16 above. That means 93.3% of the deaths were senior citizens. That's a high rate. We know that. Nothing new here. Nothing new. Pattern, trend, here we go again. So we look at the cases. There was 48,138 cases among the senior citizens 16 above. Out of that, 87.7% survived. Now, if you want to go over to the other side, under 60, 157,856 cases, 420 deaths, 99.73 survival rate. So 5,904 deaths out of 6,324 deaths were 16 above. And out of those 93.3%, 87.7% of senior citizens who got COVID survived. They don't tell you these things. They just want to throw out the cases and deaths. That's it. 6,000 people died, and we have 200,000 cases. Way to not give people all the information, you know. Give them true information, but omit other things. Excuse me. No, don't even think it. It's not COVID. So we have a population of senior citizens of Connecticut, 734,300. So there are 703, and by the way, I got to be honest, I really didn't know that there were that many senior citizens until I looked it up and went into the data population gathering of the state, you know. And remember, all this information comes from the state. It's not some sort of newspaper on the side or trying to think of right-wing news organizations or people accused of it. Well, Newsmax is a big one now. I don't know that they're right-wing, but they're on the right side, you know, left and right, blah, blah, blah. OAN is another one I think is out there, and NTD. Anyways, I'm trying to think of all the other ones. But anyways, it doesn't come from any of that. And it doesn't come from the left, CNN or anything like that. It doesn't even come from them. It comes from your Department of Health. So one has to ask oneself, do I believe the Department of Health of Connecticut? And if I don't, then that means I can't believe the CDC. If I believe the CDC, I have to believe the Connecticut Department of Health because that's where the information is gathered from. So that means we have a 0.0075% of senior citizens in Connecticut as a whole. I'm talking all of them. So you take the whole 734,000, 0.007% of the senior citizens in Connecticut died of COVID. That is less than 1%. Now, I'm not putting down anybody who has lost someone. That's a tragic situation. Nobody wants to lose anybody. But if you truly, truly believe in science, then you look at these numbers and you realize you've been led astray, my friends. You've been led astray. No one says it doesn't exist. I might as well say the flu doesn't exist, the cold doesn't exist, AIDS doesn't exist. What else we got? Heart disease doesn't exist. These things exist, but they affect certain people. Some people, yes, could be abnormal, and it is what it is. It's, and I know you're saying, it is what it is. That's so callous. That's not what I'm saying. You want to follow the data, follow the data. Data does not indicate fear. It indicates hope. How about that, huh? But you're not going to hear that. So that means 99.2% of the senior citizen population in Connecticut has not been affected? Well, how about that? Something you're not going to hear. The division has to stop. And I'm going to make another video at some point about a different type of division in this country. But the division among this has got to stop. The data is there. If I give you this data from the Connecticut Department of Health and you don't want that data, then I have to accuse you now of not caring about others. Because if you don't care about the truth, or if you do care about the truth, you accept this. Because this is not my opinion. These are not my opinions. These are not facts that I say my opinions. Or I'm sorry, opinions that I call facts. That means, and one will say, oh, what are you, a Republican governor? Well, if you're from Connecticut, you know we don't have a Republican governor, so that's not true. Understand. People want you to be in fear. It seems to be so much easier to put people in fear than in hope. And why is that? Because you're inundated on all angles by fear and not hope. And if you just turned off the news stations and everything, I bet you more people would get along. Might be more healthy people too. God forbid that happens. Thank you for tuning into this video. I appreciate your time. And remember, repeat to yourself this. 87.7% of senior citizens who get COVID survive. 99.2% of senior citizens in Connecticut are not affected. So less than 1% of the population of senior citizens in Connecticut have passed away. Those are pretty good odds. Because guess what? Grandma dies and grandpa dies. People are going to move on in this world. It's the old saying. You can't. It's funny. I'm thinking about now the 1%. Remember the 1% that controls the world, and the 99% that have to listen. Here we are. Here we are. God bless. Have a beautiful day, and remember, tell someone they have a high chance of living today. God bless.